The city was bustling with life as Adrian Carter stepped out of his sleek black limousine. His name was synonymous with success. Adrian was the CEO of Carter Enterprises, a multi-billion-dollar company that had redefined luxury real estate. He was powerful, untouchable, and used to the world bending to his will. But today, as he made his way to an important investors' meeting, something unexpected halted his steps. A loud thud echoed through the street. Just a few feet away, a young girl had collapsed on the pavement. She was thin, her clothes were tattered, and her face was streaked with tears. Pedestrians rushed by without a second glance. Adrian, despite his rigid schedule, found himself moving toward her. "Hey, are you okay?" he asked, kneeling beside her. The girl, no older than 8 or 9, blinked up at him, her big brown eyes filled with fear and exhaustion. I'm just hungry," she whispered, her voice barely audible. Something in Adrian's heart twisted. He was a man of logic, a businessman who had built his empire on numbers, profits, and strategic decisions. Yet, in this moment, the sight of this fragile child, alone, weak, and helpless, stirred something deep within him. He reached into his pocket, pulling out a crisp $100 bill. "Here, take this. Get yourself something to eat." The girl hesitated before shaking her head. "I don't need money. I just need food for my mom, too." Adrian was taken aback. Most people would have snatched the bill without a second thought, but this child, she wasn't thinking of herself. A warmth spread through his chest. "Come with me," he said, standing up and offering his hand. She hesitated but then placed her small hand in his, and together, they walked toward a nearby cafe. The waitress gave them an odd look as Adrian, dressed in a tailored suit, walked in with the disheveled child, but he ignored it. He ordered a full meal for her, and as she ate ravenously, he watched her in silence. "What's your name?" he finally asked. "Lily." "And your mother? Where is she?" Lily swallowed hard, looking down. "She's at home. She's sick." Adrian's throat tightened. He had grown up in a wealthy household, never knowing what it was like to struggle. The idea of a child taking care of her sick mother alone made his chest ache. "Where do you live?" he asked. Lily hesitated, then whispered an address. Against every logical impulse, Adrian made a decision. "Let's go see your mom." The apartment building was nothing short of decrepit. Peeling paint, broken windows, and the unmistakable stench of poverty filled the air as Adrian followed Lily up the narrow stairway. His polished shoes felt out of place against the dirty, uneven floor. When they reached the door, Lily knocked softly. "Mama?" There was a weak cough, followed by a faint voice. "Lily?" Adrian stepped inside, and what he saw made his breath catch. A woman lay on a worn-out mattress, her face pale and gaunt. Even in her frail state, there was something strikingly familiar about her. As she turned her head, her tired eyes met his, and in that instant, Adrian felt the ground shift beneath him. It was her. Isabel. The woman he had once loved. The woman he had lost. Shock rooted him in place. Memories came flooding back, the laughter they had shared, the whispered dreams of forever. But that was a lifetime ago. He had left, chasing his ambitions, believing love was a distraction. And now, fate had brought him here, to a broken woman and a starving child, his child. His breath hitched. Isabel. Her eyes widened in horror, her thin fingers clutching the blanket. Adrian. Silence stretched between them, thick with unspoken words, with the weight of years lost. Lily, sensing the tension, looked between them. "Mama, do you know him?" Tears welled in Isabel's eyes. "Lily, this is your father." The words hit Adrian like a tidal wave. He staggered back, struggling to breathe. His mind reeled. He had a daughter he never knew existed. Lily's eyes widened, confusion and hope flickering across her face. "You're my dad." Adrian's heart pounded. He had spent his life closing deals, building an empire, believing wealth was everything. But in this moment, nothing mattered more than the little girl looking up at him, longing for an answer. A lump formed in his throat. "Yes, Lily. I am." Tears streamed down Isabel's face. "I never told you. You had your dreams, your future. I didn't want to hold you back." Adrian knelt beside her, his own eyes burning. "I would have stayed, Isabel. I would have chosen you." A sob escaped her lips. "I was scared." Regret sliced through him. He had chased success, thinking it was all that mattered, but he had lost something far more precious. He turned to Lily, who was staring at him with innocent eyes. "I want to make things right. I want to be here for you. For both of you." Isabel searched his face, as if trying to determine if this was real. And in his eyes, she saw something she hadn't seen in years: love, sincerity, and the deep ache of regret. "You don't have to do this," she whispered. "I do," Adrian said firmly. "Because family isn't something you walk away from." He reached for Lily, pulling her into his arms, and she clung to him, her tiny body trembling. He felt the weight of everything he had missed: the birthdays, the bedtime stories, the scraped knees he hadn't kissed better. But he was here now. And he wasn't going anywhere. Over the next few weeks, Adrian moved Isabel and Lily into a beautiful home, ensuring they had everything they needed. But beyond the wealth, he gave them something money couldn't buy: his time, his love. For the first time in years, Isabel smiled. Lily laughed. And Adrian, who had spent his life chasing fortune, finally understood the true meaning of wealth. It wasn't in bank accounts or boardrooms. It was here, in the arms of his daughter, in the forgiveness of the woman he loved. It was in family. And he would never let it go again.